Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Y'all, let's do some more fun crafting. Stay tuned. So in a previous video, we made these awesome skinny mini notepad holders, complete with a pen holster so that you could put your pen in and not have to worry about it falling all over the place or losing it. And then we had a pocket. And like I said in my video yesterday, these are great for craft fairs. And for those of you who aren't even considering doing craft fairs, that's great because these are great anytime gifts. But for those of you who are prepping for craft fairs, we are going to be doing some projects that'll be great on your table as craft fair sellers. Because if we do get to do craft fairs for Christmas, we are going to see a whole different world of craft fairs. We will not see the crowds that we normally see. We will not see as many tables in the venue as we normally see. So what that means for you is that you need to have crafts on your table that are going to set you apart from everybody else. And that's what we're going to be doing. But these crafts are not only good for craft fairs, they're great anytime for myself type crafts, whatever it is you want to use them for. But the added bonus is great for that craft fair table. So I'm going to put these away and show you guys what we're making today. And here is today's craft, guys. It is another notepad, but it's a notepad with a twist. First of all, I've got my pen on the outside because it really won't fit on the inside. And I've used these wonderful pen clips that you guys have seen me use from time to time. And the link for these will be in the description box. I wasn't able to find the set of 10 in gold on Amazon, but I was able to find them in silver. So I will have that link below. They do have some on Amazon in gold. They come in a set of 2 and they are way overpriced. So I'm not even going to put those in the description. You'll see them when you're out there looking at the silver ones though, because they will come up. So when we open this up, here's what we have. We have a notepad just filled to the brim with white sheets of paper. Why is this notepad so special? It is special because once you've used up all of the sheets of paper in this notepad, you can take them out and replace the paper. How can we do that? Well, while I was on Amazon recently, these wonderful book binding screws came up. Why I didn't know about them before, I don't know. But I know about them now. And the beauty of them, here on the back, these screw in and they lay flat. So you don't have anything protruding. But I don't know if you guys can see that. The back are just Phillips head screws. And then when you screw them into this flat front, everything is sandwiched in between. So you don't have anything sticking up or interfering with your ability to A, be able to write, and B, be able to lay this flat on the desk. But like I said, this is completely refillable. Game changer for our notepad construction if we're going to construct notepads in this way. So I am going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So here are the screws that we're going to use on today's project. You have this flat head and it's just a smooth flat surface, but when you look at it, it's got the screw grooves on the inside. And then you have the small piece, which is the actual Phillips head portion, and it's got the screws on it. So basically all you do is you take these and you screw it in. And then whatever you've put in between it, it holds it in place. And when you're ready to take it out, you just unscrew it, take those papers out, store them if you need to, put some more in. How easy is that? And then one more thing about the screws that I ordered, they actually come in a whole bunch of different sizes. And I'm laying them out so that you can see from big projects to small projects. We can make our notebooks, our sketchbooks, our journals as large as we want them. All right, guys, so let's make our project. And to make the project, we're going to need 2 sets of the screws that I just showed you. Now, the screw size that you use is going to be determined by the number of pieces of paper that you decide to put in your book. This is the size that I need for the number that I'm putting in my book. I haven't counted them, but it's about 150 sheets of copier paper. Then we are going to need a piece of chipboard for our spine that measures 1/2 by 6. We need 2 pieces of chipboard that measure 6 by 4 3/4. Then I have my template, and this template is just my guide for punching my holes. And I'll go through the whole punching process with you guys in just a minute. And then I have my stack of paper, and I have already punched holes in this particular paper. But like I said, I have about 150 sheets of just regular copier paper here. Nothing special being used, just regular copier paper. And this paper is cut to size at 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. Then I have my inside liner piece. This piece measures 5 3/4 by 10. And then I have my outside liner piece. This piece measures 8 by 12. And the paper that I'm using for our project, again, is from the collection by Graphic 45, and it is Farmhouse. Okay, guys, so the first thing that I want to do is show you how I created my template for my paper. So the first thing that I did was I took a piece of the paper that measures 5 3/4 by 4 1/2, and I put it in my scoreboard. I scored at 7/8 of an inch on both sides. Then I put it back in the scoreboard this way, and I came in at 3/4 of an inch. So basically what I did, I don't know if you guys can see my folds here, but I made scores this way and this way. And then where they intersected, that is where I punched my 2 holes. Then once I had those holes punched, I cut out a piece of chipboard so that I could have a long-lasting template that had some weight to it. I took that template and just laid it down on the chipboard and punched my holes. That is how you get your template. And I like to use chipboard for this, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So I am going to bring in some paper just so that you guys can see how I'm doing this. So I have paper that is the exact size of the chipboard. So all the papers in my book are 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. So what I've done is I have taken paper that measures 5 3/4 by 4 1/2, which is the same size as my chipboard, and I have clipped them together so that it's even on all 4 sides. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my crocodile or whatever punch you have that'll go through a deep groove, and I'm going to punch my holes. The reason why I like using chipboard as the final template for this is because when I place this in and I place the little hole punching mechanism portion of it, I can place it so that it goes down inside of that hole, and that way I know that I've got it centered and exact to where I need it to be, because it catches on the inside, which means that I'm not all over the place. It basically just falls right down inside of the hole. And then I have 2 evenly placed holes on my board. And that's how I do my template. So now that I have all of the holes punched in my paper, I'm going to set it to the side, and we're going to make the jacket for this. Okay, so to make the jacket, we are starting with the piece that measures 12 by 8 and our chipboard pieces that measure 6 by 4 3/4. And I am simply going to place that down just like that. Then I have my spine that measures 1/2 inch by 6. I am going to place that down, giving myself about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. Then I have my second piece of 6 by 4 3/4 inch chipboard, and I'll lay that down using about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. Then I'm going to take my finger blade and just trim off some of this excess. So then I am going to take my stylus, go around this chipboard, and just press down using the chipboard as my guide. I'm pressing down into the paper because if the paper decides that it wants to be fussy today and crack, this will help to minimize that cracking urge. So now I'll stand it up, fold it over on all 4 sides. Then I'll use my finger blade to miter my ends. Then I am going to use my tape runner to place tape here on those edge pieces, and I'll get these stuck down. And I'll do this on all 4 sides. I'm going to use my bone folder, get that stuck, and then I'll take the bone folder, go along the edge, just because it helps to just make it look a whole lot neater. And we will just keep putting this down. Okay, so once we have all of our edges folded over, I need to cover this exposed chipboard with tape, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I have my tape all over the chipboard on my board, and now I'm just placing glue on my liner piece, and this liner measures 5 3/4 by 10. And I am going to take this, place it down, try to get it centered. And then I'll use my paper towel just to get the glue spread out. And now I'll use my bone folder just to get everything stuck down. And then I want to make sure that I look at it to check to see if I have any bubbling of my paper, and to make sure that everything is laying flat and everything is looking pretty good. So now that the jacket is done, I need to bring my template back in because I need to punch holes in the board. So I have my template on the board, and I'm just making sure that I've got it nice and centered where I want it to be. And I'm going to use my crocodile, go in, find my hole, make sure that I have it in the hole, and then I can punch. And I can come over to this side and do the same thing. And because I'm using the template, I know that my papers are going to fit in here just fine. So now we can go ahead and start adding our paper to the long metal piece. And I'm going to do a few just to show you how it's done. And then I'll do the rest off camera because this is the time-consuming portion. So I'm not doing very many sheets at one time, but I am putting both of my screws in, just like this. So then I'll just start adding pages, just a few pages at a time, not many. And guys, just make sure that when you're punching your holes, and I'll have this listed in the description box, your hole for these need to be at least 3/16 of an inch around. So I am going to place just a couple more. It's not a hard process, it's just a time-consuming one because it's very hard to get all of these pages to go through the screws at the same time. So I basically just break it down into sections and add my papers to the screws. And that is how we do it. So I'll do one more pair with you guys. So I'm just putting those down, running it through the screw, just like that. And you can see I have quite a bit of room to be able to add more paper. So I'm going to add the rest of the paper, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so hopefully you can see that I have made quite a bit of progress with getting my paper on. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to just do a test fit to see if I need to add any more. So all I'm doing is punching it through the hole, and on the back side I can see, I'll show you, you can see that that back is still sticking out. We don't want that. We want the back to be pretty flat. So I am going to add more paper, and I'll keep adding paper until I have it almost filled. So I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Okay, so I'm back, and you can see just in looking at this that I now have a very small amount of metal sticking out, and that's the metal that I need sticking out to go through the chipboard. So I am going to take this, feed it through the chipboard, and now when I hold it out on the side, hopefully you can see it, that is very flush, and that's what we want. So now I can take my screw, put it in the hole, and just screw it down. You can actually twist this with your finger, but I'm just screwing it just like that. So then I'll take the other one, place it in, and get it stuck. I'm not squeezing this so that it's tight and I strip the screw. So as you can see, we now have this, and then I'm going to come back and just pull it out a little bit. And all I'm doing is bringing it in just to loosen up some of that tension. So now you can see we've got this nice flat back that sits down. See, we have a book that is full of pages. It is absolutely gorgeous, and we have something that would be wonderful on any craft fair table. So I am going to bring in this sweet little Make Hay While the Sun Shines sticker, but I have actually mounted this sticker to a piece of coordinating cardstock, and now I'm going to place it down right there, and I'm just in love with this farmhouse paper. And then what I'm going to do is I am just going to go along this and just kind of crispen this up just a little bit. And there we have it. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually place a pocket on the inside. I'm not going to place a pocket on this one. And then I might go back and just bling it up just a little bit. But I am going to use my little gold clip, and this is what it looks like. This is not a standard paper clip, guys. This is very, very hard to bend. So a standard paper clip will not do what I am about to do with this one. So I'm going to take my pen, place it on here wherever I want it, and then we take this and we bring it over the top, and you can see just how sturdy that is on there. A paper clip won't do this, so please don't buy the large paper clips thinking that they have the strength to be able to do this, because they don't. So this is our second gorgeous, gorgeous notepad that we can add to our growing collection of things that we might want to sell at our craft fairs when we get to do them, or things that we might want to make for family, friends, and coworkers. Change out the paper, any season, any reason, any gender. This is a fun little project, and these little book binding screws just made things a whole lot easier for me. So one thing that I did want to show you guys is when you fold it up, you can actually go across and score each sheet if you wanted to, so that when you fold it, it just folds up in a natural state. I'm not, because if I'm making notes, I'm okay with holding this or even pulling in my clip, because I'm going to have the pen in my hands, so I can take my clip. If, let's say I'm writing here, I can now take this clip and hold that up while I need to write, and my pages aren't flopping all over the place. So that's just another way that we can use those wonderful, wonderful clips. And so I hope that you have enjoyed this one, because this really is a fun little project, and it's a great way to make a book, to make a notepad, to give to someone. Don't just look at this as something for the craft fair table, even though I am trying to show various upscale ideas for your craft fair table. Just know that everything that I'm making, even if I put craft fair in the title, can be used for any time. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.